After watching this video, you'll see why this man was still very likely to be involved in this brutal murder. He was exonerated in his second trial, but really, he didn't do anything?
It doesn't make any sense to me.
The man I'm talking about is Don Ruby. He was taking care of the victim, Edna Posey's son. When Edna finally felt well enough to have her son back, she came to Don Ruby's house and picked up her son on a Friday night. But by Saturday morning, she was missing, and on Sunday morning, she was found brutally dismembered. Don Ruby was a prime suspect for the following reasons. Not only the box used to contain Edna Posey's remains was the same type of box that Ruby was known to use frequently, there's a hole on the box that matches the latch of Don Ruby's vehicle.
If you watched my first video about this case, you'll know that Don Ruby was curiously gone all day that day. Edna's son said he was left alone, which was very strange because that had never happened before.
He was molesting me, as he had molested other children.
This to be Don Ruby's motive to kill, because once the son is with his mother, the son might tell what Don Ruby had done to him. Edna might report this to authorities. Don Ruby was a scoutmaster and he enjoyed that, so he had a lot to lose. Before the torso was identified, Edna's friends and families didn't know she was killed, so they called Don Ruby and asked where she was. He told Edna's boyfriend that she decided to break up and run away, and he told Edna's family that she went to a rehab in Florida. Lastly, when Edna was finally identified, Don Ruby told the police many different stories as well.
Because the question was, why were you gone all day? He claims to go shopping, pick up Leigh from work, go to Middletown, and then they drove all over North America shopping, I guess.
At the retrial, the defense attorney presented new forensic evidence. Number one, based on the stage of the fly eggs, the expert said Edna was killed closer to Sunday morning, not like what the prosecution said Friday night. Number two, supposedly there were 3 different semen found on Edna, and Don Ruby's biomarkers didn't match the semen. Because of the new information, Don Ruby was then exonerated.
In terms of life cycle of the flies, somehow putting her there Sunday morning, I don't know how that exonerates Don at all.
A source told me that Don Ruby and his wife Leigh knew some criminals and they have some complicated dealings, such as drug deals. And 3 people they knew would do stuff for them. At least one of these 3 men had a record of gang rape.
So could that 3 friends be involved? My source told me one of those people that the police should be looking at may have already died. That person is Don Ruby's wife, Leigh. She has moved from Pennsylvania to Florida.
Whoever did this to Edna Posey spent a lot of time handling her body.
It was documented in the autopsy that the cuts were very precise and looked nearly professional grade. Not something that was done with a hacksaw. I can say that much.
So
there were very clean cuts on the victim's body, not hastily done.
It's unfortunate that it seems like nobody witnessed anything during this process. But if you or you think someone who may have some information about this case, please contact PSP Newport.